Lina, welcome to Retro Podcast.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Certainly. And you're in Los Angeles, correct?
Yes.
And what's the weather like over there?
It's actually pretty chilly today. I was wrapped up in a blanket up until like a few minutes ago. I just turned on the heat. It's like 48 degrees in Los Angeles
Oh,
today.
jeez. How
Yeah,
often does it snow in Los Angeles, or do you ever get snow?
doesn't snow at all.
Doesn't snow at all.
No.
Wow. A
Yeah,
state without snow. Can't imagine that.
honestly, I actually don't really like the weather. A lot of people think that I'm weird. I lived in Ukraine and then in Boston for most of my life, so I'm used to seasons. I'm used to like hot summers, cold, snowy winters, so I actually prefer that.
Mhm. I'm not a big fan of snow, which it must be really, really nice for you.
Yeah, well, it's the I guess it's the Christmassy like holiday feel, and it feels like a fairy tale whenever it's like pretty snow. I know it's not pretty snow every day whenever it's snowing. Sometimes it's just, wet and not really fun.
I
But
mean, snow with Christmas lights and the other lights, I mean, yeah, it's nice, especially if you're traveling to a log cabin or a lodge during the winter season. That's always fun. But like driving in the snow and having to shovel it out of the driveway, that's always the worst part.
yeah, yeah, I never owned a car or like my own house whenever it was snowing, so I guess I got it good.
Yeah. Do you have a driver's license?
I do. Yes. In
Nice.
LA, you can't survive without it, so you have to.
Of course not. So Christmas just happened, and how was your Christmas?
My Christmas was actually really fun. I spent it with friends in Los Angeles. We had like a little gathering of like all the people that weren't going home for the holidays, and we were each other's family for the day. We made a dinner, like a really big dinner that we all just like sat down to eat and played board games and talked and drank, and it was really fun.
That was really fun. That's exactly what I did.
Nice. Are you from Ohio?
I am from Ohio. Yes.
Nice. Well, friends from your home state, that must be
Yeah,
nice.
I mean, family and friends that live here in Ohio. I was in Ohio for the holidays.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Um, so what exactly do you do, like music wise?
Music wise, I do quite a few things. I like to call myself a songwriter because I write for myself, I write for other people, write for Pitch, for Sync, and besides that, I'm also an artist, just, you know, as an artist, and also a producer. And here and there, I'm like a performing musician that just doesn't sing. Like I played a few times in like my boyfriend's band, and here and there, it's fun. So I kind of do a lot of different things.
You also, because you also have a YouTube channel, like every other artist, we all have YouTube channels, and you make these videos, these short TikTok videos with your boyfriend. Do you enjoy doing the short videos, or do you enjoy doing music, or do you enjoy doing both?
I kind of enjoy doing both, I would say, because creating visuals, like if it's like short, like YouTube clips, it's more like I have to, I feel like, because, in order to promote your own music, you have to like attract people's attention sometimes, and do all that stuff. When visuals is like a separate art and it's a lot that goes into like a creation of one thing for sure. So it could be exhausting, but if it's not too many music videos a year, I really enjoy it.
Nice. And what was your inspiration getting into music?
I have been doing music since I was about like 8, 9 years old, probably. And I remember the first time I decided to write a song, I was watching MTV back in Ukraine, where I'm from, which is like, you know, has its own music scene, but I was always attracted to American music and like Western music in general, so British as well, maybe Swedish a little bit, but mostly American. And I was watching MTV and I saw a music video for a Katy Perry song, And I was like, whoa, what is this fun, catchy, cool music? This is so cool. I want to do something like that too. And I sat down to write a horrible song, but at the time I thought it was really cool. And that was like the beginning of a journey, and then I really enjoyed doing that, and I just kept on doing that and kept on learning instruments and studying music and just having fun with it.
Nice. Sounds really, really cool. And what advice would you give to people that really want to go into the music industry?
Um, I would probably say that if you truly, truly like it, if it's something that you would do for free, if you like weren't able to make any money whatsoever and you would still enjoy doing that, then that's probably the right field for you, because it's, of course there's some people that get lucky, but usually it's very difficult to start out and get to the point where you're like starting to make a living out of it. And if you are not ready for the journey, maybe, you know, you should just make yourself happy with it and keep it as a hobby, meaning like, don't like leave everything behind and go for it, not being sure that you really love it. But if you are in love with it as a craft, it's something that really brings you joy and happiness, and you can't imagine your life without it, then do it, because it's so worth it. If you actually get to it, it will make you so, so happy.
Like that, well done. And
Thank you.
well, this is a retro show, and when you were talking about MTV, I mean MTV would be considered retro, or at least back in the 80s when it was retro. Like nowadays, like it's not the same as it was back then. I mean, I'm 24, so I didn't grow up in the 80s, but still I love
I'm 24 as well, so
what?
yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm just shocked all of a
So
sudden.
I know a lot of people think they're like, "Oh, you're like 28. You're like, you look like you're not." Like people have been saying that I look like 27, 28 since I was 17. I don't know why. Yeah.
Yeah, for a moment, I actually thought you'd be 29 or 30, but when you said 24, I was like, what?
Yeah, yeah.
It's funny because today I found out the actress Sophia Wiley who played. Sorry, I need some water.
Oh, yeah.
Anyhow, uh, the actress Sophia Wiley who played Gina in High School Musical, the musical, the series on Disney Plus, and also played Agatha in The School for Good and Evil on Netflix. I just found out turned 20 not long ago, and I was like, "Wait, you're 20 already? Like, what? What just happened?"
I know a lot of my favorite artists that I feel like I grew up with are like, mid 30s. And every time I remind myself of that, I'm like, how did that happen? How did you go from 18 to 33? So,
Time flies because there were two other actors that I found out were older than I thought, and I found out Billy Bob Thornton was. But my grandmother just turned 70 last month, and I found out Billy Bob Thornton was 2 years younger than her, which I couldn't believe that already because he still looks the same from when he was in Bad Santa a while back. Which I watched Bad Santa for the first time this past Christmas, and if you haven't seen it, funniest movie is
I,
just
I should watch it.
insanely
I
funny.
haven't seen it. Yeah.
But anyhow, we'll get to that part another time. But anyhow, my mother has a question. What would you
Okay.
do for a board game?
For a board game, I love board games, honestly. So we actually just bought a new game, so I'll pick that. I think it's Catan. Is that how you say it? I
Yeah,
actually have it literally right here. Settlers of Catan. I know a lot of people think it's a nerdy game, but my boyfriend's family showed it to us whenever we were visiting his family in Tennessee, and I really liked it. I'm also very passionate about games. I take it way too seriously, and if I don't win, I get upset. So I was winning in this game, so I liked it. So right now, this is my choice.
Nice. That's my dad's favorite game as well.
Nice.
Yeah. And since this is a retro show, what was your favorite retro product growing up in the 80s? I mean, sorry, not growing up in the 80s, but like a retro product from the 80s or 90s or early 2000s.
Oh my God. Well, as a musician, I'm very inclined to say music because I love music from that time, 80s, 90s, 2000s, all of it. It has so much that I like. I know like my favorite band, it was a little bit before 80s, but they were still active in the 80s if I remember correctly. My favorite childhood band was ABBA from Sweden. And I think they were mostly active in the 70s, but also in the 80s. So I'll give this to the 80s. And then the 90s was like so much like rock and grunge, like Nirvana and Alanis Morissette and uh just like my favorite like era of like the beginning of Britney Spears and the pop culture of all that, that period of time. Um and also no internet. That was great. That was a great time. I don't think I was born in 99, so same as
I,
you. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know anything else probably
Uh,
that I would like from that time. I guess movies and pop culture in general.
well, Lina, thank you very much for joining today's interview and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.